Welcome back, dude and dudettes, to another wild episode of Send It Mate. We're here to talk about all things hunting and outdoors. And today, we've got something that'll keep your gear running smoother than a dingo's getaway.
That's right. Our show is brought to you by High Caliber, the gun and knife oil company that knows how to keep your firearms and blades in tip-top shape.
High Caliber is like the secret sauce for hunters, anglers, and outdoorsy folk everywhere. It's like the magic potion that makes your gun and knives happier than a dog with two tails.
You know, guys, I've been using High Caliber oil for a while now, and let me tell you, it's the duck's nuts. My rifle practically sings a lullaby when I take it out hunting.
And speaking of lullabies, ever tried sneaking up on a deer with a squeaky gun? It's a prime way to end up with no venison in the freezer. You'll be hungrier than a vegan at a bacon festival.
Absolutely. But with High Caliber oil, your gun will be quieter than a ninja in moonlight. You'll be stalking your prey with the grace and stealth of a mountain lion.
High Caliber doesn't just keep things quiet, it also prevents rust and corrosion, so you won't find your gear looking like it spent a season at the bottom of a creek.
That's right, and for you knife enthusiasts out there, High Caliber has got you covered too. Your trusty blade will slice through anything smoother than butter on a hot biscuit.
So, folks, don't let your gear become a rusty, squeaky mess. Head on over to highcaliber.com.au and grab a bottle of their oil today.
And if you use the code SENDITMATE at checkout, you'll get a special discount. I say again, use the code SENDITMATE for all your oil slick, stealthy hunting needs.
Thanks to High Caliber, you'll be sending it in style and silence.
So, gear up, oil up, and send it, mate. High Caliber, the ultimate oil for the ultimate hunter.
Welcome, you good motherfuckers.
Yo!
I'm Josh.
I'm Ryan.
And I'm Caleb.
Welcome to Send It Mate.
Send It Mate podcast coming to you. Not really live.
Live pre-recorded.
The slight delay.
Yes, there's a slight delay across radio waves.
How you boys going anyway?
Yeah, good, mate.
Good.
Bloody good.
Bruh, we've had a good week.
Good
You
work.
have?
Very good week.
Have you
Yeah.
just?
Yes, I have.
Ooh,
Yeah.
What's been happening to you,
Ooh.
bro?
I can't really say.
Well, then there's no point bringing it up.
That's diving into like the old personal
bit of
life.
personal.
Oh, well, don't tease people.
Look, no, that's how you get them moist.
No, you had a few things happen on the farm.
Yeah, a couple of things. Yeah, actually, that brings up the point of interest this week. So, to set the scene, I'll set the mood.
Oh, here we go. Do I need to light a candle?
Do you want me to get the lights?
No, I literally just woke up and rolled out of bed. Anyway, I got up and made a coffee. Ryan's singing again.
Sometimes morning sex is good. Is this what you mean? Or?
Morning sex with myself.
Morning. And let's go down that rabbit hole. I love morning sex.
Yeah,
Like,
Oh, all right. So,
No, wait. Is it as good as when you're cooking with your missus and you're like,
no, because
What?
I'm paranoid about hot oil.
no, because
So-
you're cooking. No. Morning sex. All right. So, that's interesting you bring that up because morning sex is great, but then there's morning breath and a morning piss to deal with.
Oh no, you get out of the way. So
no, the piss gives you longer lasting abilities.
So there's like everyone pees and everyone cleans their teeth and then pretends like it never happened and then you get into it.
And then you get back into bed.
Yeah, that's right.
And that's when it's good.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
Or
like that. Like
you
I
just
don't know,
not
there's something
kiss.
about it. What you kiss when you have sex? Is that a thing? Have I been doing it wrong this whole time?
yes.
So much passion.
Oh dear. Anyway, I'd just woken up, right? I rolled out of bed and made me coffee.
Pole vaulted down the hallway.
Yeah, all stumbled with me crotch. Anyway, I went out to me front porch. I was just having my morning coffee, and then suddenly this koala just comes out of nowhere. It was sort of like behind my car, and it come around the corner, and it sort of stopped between my car and the porch for a brief second. And
How far away are we talking about here? Because your car's pretty close to the porch when it's parked.
Yeah, wait for this. So, and then it come like crawling further up, and it stopped behind a pot plant, and then it actually looked around, like it moved its head around the pot plant.
Hot plant.
Plant.
It's the plants.
Oh,
I feel like that really is not the hardest two words
really
to put
not.
together.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks. Yeah.
Plot
Anyway,
plants at
It-
Bloss's place.
it sort of like peeked around the plant and had a look at me. Like it made eye contact. We made eye
He's just
contact.
dropped a word.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Anyway, it's sort of it's looked at me and then it's just suddenly walked around the plant and come up right up towards me, and then it's come underneath my legs while I was sitting down on my bench, and then just sat down, and it gave me enough time to actually it was there for actually probably about 9 minutes, and I had enough time to get my phone, press record, and it wasn't spooked by me sort of putting the phone between my legs and the chair and filming it.
How long were you sitting there before this happened?
I literally walked outside, man, and sat down. And then it just beelined
And it
it.
was like, oh, hey, it's got to be tame.
I was shirtless, and it was probably attracted to
yeah,
me.
it was probably
Probably like,
male.
Who's this fucking gorilla?
Yeah, it's definitely a male.
So it must be used to humans, though.
No, man, no one.
What did it tell you?
I don't understand. No one comes around my house and feeds fucking animals and shit. Having said that, I think it was a female. I think it's the same female that I took a photo of last year that had its baby on its back and it was like crawling across the ground.
And it mistook you for its lost baby.
Oh,
I mean, I can see the comparison. Mistake.
cute and cuddly. Yeah, that's right. Cute and fucking cuddly. You know what?
What?
I'll describe myself for you. I call myself
Koala.
quite masculine.
I would
What?
describe you as cuddly.
What?
Sort of ripped.
How did we even get to this?
And then my nipples.
I feel like we've gone.
By
I
the
feel
way-
like next week you're going to be
They're
recording
supple.
with no pants on
All right, so
because we've made a progression here.
for the listeners who can't see what we're looking at right now, the last 2 weeks Josh has been wearing a singlet and a rogue nipple has escaped each week. Tonight he's shirtless.
I'm just trying to keep up the, correct attire to be professional.
Are we going to start? Are we going to record naked, like just full blown? Everyone just in the nut.
I don't have a problem with that, really.
Is it one of these things where you lean down to get a drink and your eye accidentally locks onto a left nut and then you're like, ugh.
We live in a desert, man. So
What has that got to do with wearing clothes?
We're
it's
in
too
air-
fucking hot.
We're in air conditioned
It's
comfort.
still too hot.
You are literally under an air conditioning
It's
vent.
still too hot.
I'm looking at you under an air conditioning
I mean-
vent with erect nipples because of the cold air.
I don't want to use the
And I'm
word
still
pansy, but
I'm still hot.
Because you're wearing pants.
I'm hot.
Take your pants off, bro. Go for it.
I'll do it.
Do it.
Don't tempt me.
so let's go back to
I'll
this koala.
literally hit the pause button for you to
How-
take your pants off if you want right now.
Okay, we are definitely not doing that. I don't want to see his skinny legs.
With my big dick.
Nah. Jury's still out on that one.
So how did the koala story end up?
Anyway, yeah.
Did you have you got chlamydia now?
No, well, it sort of like walked off. Like it actually walked around and around the corner, and my dog saw it and started barking. Wasn't really phased about the dog, and then it like just sat down in front of the side of the house, just looking at the wall for about half an hour. And
Yeah,
I had half a tomato still in my fridge from the night before for cooking dinner. And I thought, I'll give it a tomato.
You're like,
Who keeps half a
"Ooh,
tomato?"
I'll save that half for later.
Well,
Did you make a salad with half
fucking
a
I
tomato?
did.
Okay.
Right. Anyway, who cares? Like how it happened. I grabbed the tomato out and started feeding it, and it ate the tomato surprisingly. But then it went and stood underneath my car, and I had to go out, and it wouldn't move. So I had to pick it up, and the thing bit me 4 times, which, actually Max on Instagram's like, you should probably go get tested, bro.
Yeah, man. Was it like, did it bite you, like clamp down and penetrate the skin?
Like I was lucky because I had a jacket on at this stage, and it bit, and it didn't bite through the jacket, but it was definitely pinching skin. And I was like, oh, good God. It tried to swipe me, but I wasn't really too phased about the claws, to be honest. I was like, oh, whatever.
Is that because you got like cat-like reflexes?
Yeah,
See what I did there?
like a ninja. Oh, Ryan.
Yeah, like a
You're
ninja.
you're fucking good, Ryan.
Yeah.
You're very good. You are very good.
Can I just go back to the tomato? What prompted you to feed an animal that it pretty much eats exclusively eucalyptus leaves, a tomato?
'Cause
Yeah, have you
it's
poisoned the koala?
pretty much a fucking
Like-
leaf.
No, it's
I don't
not.
think we need to get Peter involved here, but is there a dead koala on your
Is there?
porch right now? Just overdosed on tomato.
Nah, it's fine. It's fine.
It's very acidic. It's a fruit.
Nah, he loved it. He was licking it and eating it. And oh god, sorry. 2021.
Did you have a
Be
shirt
whatever
on, or
you
did
want.
you not have a shirt on?
Oh, when I was feeding him, I had no shirt on because I just got out of bed.
So
When I picked it up, I had a jacket on.
okay, so you've prepped yourself to be scratched, basically.
No, I got ready to go out, and then I walked outside and was underneath the car. I'm like, bloody hell, yeah, go away.
No, you prepped yourself to get scratched because it's been hot, so there's no way you were.
No, it wasn't hot at home actually because I remember waking up and going, "Geez, it's a bit cold."
because you live so far away.
Well, we kind of gained like
I think
over 1,200 meters of elevation in
he's
about.
further away from the equator than what we are.
Oh God,
By like
I gain a lot of elevation
five,
real quickly
by
where
5
I live.
kilometres.
All right, well, we're a day down the track now. Have you seen the koala since?
So a mate came round later that day, and apparently was still kicking around, but I haven't seen it since. It'll be back, I dare say.
Yeah, because you've fed it now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You now have a pet koala.
Oh,
Congratulations.
that's all right. I don't mind, man. I
You
like.
might have babies.
No, I don't mind.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. No
Well,
worries.
awesome.
Cool story,
What
bro.
animal do
I mean,
you
that-
have?
that
I got
was-
a dog. Oh, fuck you. I got a koala.
That was a point of interest.
Slid that in there real well.
Yeah.
Well done.
Faded it
You're
out.
an actual knob.
Yeah.
Very good. All right. Well, let's kick away this week. And our topic, which you might have actually thought is going to be a special guest. Well, we're due to have a special guest this week. And unfortunately, we've had to push that back a week. So we've subbed in a topic for this week, which is going the distance.
Are we, and apologies, by the way, listeners, if you're anticipating the next guest.
He's going the speed.
He's going the distance. He's going for speed.
Oh, same shit.
Learn the words, bro.
You're a cake.
Yes, so apologies this week. If you've tuned in to listen to a special guest, our special guest will now be next week. And we're going
He's
to
locked in, Eddie, for next week.
beautiful.
Yeah.
It'd be brilliant.
Locked
Tune
in.
in because it's definitely going to be an absolute fucking ripper of an episode.
Fucking banger.
It will be.
Yeah.
It will be. All right. Well, let's get into going the distance. Something Josh needs to train himself to do in the bedroom. All right. Quickly, Ryan, go.
Yeah, I got a lot to say here.
You got nothing, bro.
No, I got a lot.
All right. Ryan's up.
So,
Going the distance.
going the distance. So I was racking my brain as I normally do. You know, like what direction would I go in with this?
We're expecting a left field, like,
Yeah, it's pretty fucking left field.
Half an hour of Googling and something moderately nerdy.
Well, it's not anything that you're going to come up with, so I would say
Okay, well-
I'd like to think outside the box. But thank you very much for the insult.
that's all right. That's all right.
Anytime, bro. Anytime.
So, going the distance, right? My thoughts. So I just think as soon as you say going the distance and you're associated with shooting and hunting and that sort of thing, it's obviously like long distance shooting is the first thing that comes to mind,
Which you've already spoken about.
which we have already spoken about. We've touched on that a few times actually with technology, the capabilities of the sport these days. But I'm thinking more of because we are a hunting outdoors, four-wheel driving.
Fishing,
and
venture,
life in
and
general.
life
life,
in general,
being a
podcast.
male
So,
in a weird world.
did you know? And here's a fun fact of history that Australia actually has the longest historic stock route in the world. Stock, as in driving cattle stock
Right, some of those dudes
in the
drive
world.
cattle.
in the world.
Some of those dudes drive cattle
Yep,
hundreds of k's, man.
yep. Well, we're talking about 1,850 kilometers.
Yeah, yeah.
Actually,
That's not
I have
surprising.
actually heard.
You
about
heard that?
this. Yeah.
It's called the Canning Stock Route.
Yes. Can I start route? Yep.
Route. I don't know. I've never known it's ROUTE. I always pronounce it route.
Either or.
Yeah.
You can say route. You can say
It's
route.
like English Americans.
Yeah,
But you don't
yeah.
say Route 66 in America. You say Route 66.
This is true, but you do call it a router.
It's not a router.
Or you say
Or is
or you say en route to the destination.
That's true, en route.
rather
Anyway.
than en route to the destination.
Anyway, so it's old, very, very old. So it was it's basically goes from Halls Creek in the Kimberleys region of Western Australia and goes to Walloona. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but it's like the Midwest region. So basically goes from just over the border of Western Australia up north, all the way down to the middle, like the guts of Western Australia, probably halfway down through to Perth. And the boys that ran this, like the drovers, were fucking insane. Like it was considered one of the hardest runs that you could do.
Yeah, that's pretty like shit country out there.
Yeah, and
They'd be on horseback.
Am I imagining this, or was there a movie about this?
there probably is a movie about it. Probably. It's probably got Hugh Jackman in it, I'd imagine.
Like, we're talking about Australia, the
Maybe.
movie?
I don't know. I honestly don't know the facts behind that because I don't
I just
pay
know I've
attention.
seen a movie with a
seen Australia.
massive cattle drive.
Yeah, there's
The Man from Snowy
Snowy River. There's a fair few of them.
Oh, shit, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a fairly long movie to cover 1,800
People don't
kilometres.
think you can actually like run cattle in high country. I call bullshit. My cattle look alright.
Do you know where cattle are?
Somewhere.
No, well, a bit of history behind it. So it opened in 1910, and it was some guy went through, mapped the whole thing out, cut the pathway, and then no one used it for like almost 2 decades.
Yeah, because they're probably like, fuck that.
Yeah, they were because it was supposed to. Because the Western Australia, the monopoly of the beef market was owned by the people that were in the state. Because you couldn't drive, because it was so secluded, they couldn't drive cattle from other states through there. So the idea was that this new way of driving cattle through would create a bit more of a balanced market. But everyone was like, "Fuck that! I'm not doing that." And it hardly got used. So the guy that went through, mapped it out, and made it was a little bit of a racist. Actually.
Malcolm Douglas.
How short were his shorts, by the way?
Oh, yeah.
So fucking short.
Oh, I actually watched a video on him the other day, and
Did
I'm
you?
like, because he made me want to explore and sort of like, he actually kind of really like shaped my childhood because I was like, yeah, I kind of want to just explore and, you know,
Do you know what I used to
shit
watch a lot
out.
of? Do you remember Bush Tucker Man on ABC?
yeah, he's back.
Yes,
He's
quality.
back.
Is he?
Yeah, he was a major in the army. He's back.
Yeah. I remember
Yeah.
that. He used
He
to-
just fucked off to fight for a little bit, then came back to.
No, he was a major, and then he he got out, and then he did like his Bush Tucker Man, and then like he just stopped, and then all of a sudden the other day he's just like released that he's back.
Oh, cool.
Oh, I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
no way.
I used to love watching him as a kid. Getting around in his Land Rover, wasn't it? And
Yeah, Land Rover
he
110.
had that weird ass hat with the unique shape, and
Yeah,
I
he
just
was
I
alright.
remember him making like soap out of
It
bark
leaves.
and
Yeah.
making
Leaves.
pegs for his clothes out of
He was like the modern
seed
day
pods and
MacGyver.
shit.
I watched him do one day. He had, I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was banana leaf or something like that. But he made a tube out of a leaf and then blocked one end off, and he put a bit of. And he this is the first time I actually learnt how to like catch yabbies, or why you use meat to catch yabbies. And that's because yabbies are actually very clean, and they don't eat meat. They're actually. Correct me if I'm wrong. We need a fact checker here, but they actually are. Not omnivores. What is it?
Herbivores.
The fucking vegan shit
Herbivores.
and herbivores. And they'll clean meat up. They'll clean like they'll just like they just don't.
So they don't
like
eat
what
it.
they-
They don't go into the net to eat. They go into the net to clean.
Yeah, essentially. And then anyway, he put
but clean what off?
like they get rid of it. They don't like
Oz in, so they want to get it out of their area.
Yeah.
So they go in there to just fuck
yeah
off.
get it out. I didn't.
So like,
I didn't know.
Larry, there's a fucking chunk of meat over there. Grab the mop. We're going to go on that fucking net and clean the fucking shit out of it. Don't need any of that in our area. This neighbourhood's gone to shit, and we're going to clean it up.
Well, like I'm up for any listeners to correct me, but I'm pretty sure they are herbivores, and I'm pretty sure they don't actually eat meat, but they'll just clean it up and get rid of it out of their area. Anyway, he put a rope on one side and he put it in this river. Now, it wasn't a cherubim; it was actually a blue marron that he caught, and he ended up he left it there submerged for ages, and this yabby sort of crawled in, and then he just like scooped that up. And he caught this blue marron yabby that was probably about half a foot long. It was huge.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah. And then I was like, I'm going to go yabbying in the local pond.
Well, we're definitely
So-
showing our vintage because that would have to be in the early 90s.
Yeah.
Got
easy.
a got a bit of a fact check for you. You're right. Yabbies don't usually eat meat.
Yeah,
They
of course.
prefer rotting vegetation and algae, but they will scavenge meat if their dam is overcrowded.
Oh, okay. There you go. I thought they were Herbivores.
So if you're not getting any yabbies in your net, swap it out for a bit of decomposing vegetation and algae, and you will probably.
I use liver. Liver works real good, actually.
Isn't that meat?
I mean,
Yeah. But because they
just
don't like the
defeated the whole
smell
purpose
and
of this
shit.
conversation.
I don't know. I'm not a fucking
It's pheromones.
yabby bird.
A what?
I don't know.
A yabby bird.
Yeah.
Anyway, so back to the cannon
Yabby
route, whatever you want to call it.
Canning stock route.
Yeah. So the guy who blazed the trail was Alfred Canning, and the guy actually got taken to court for being a racist. His cook, he basically came under scrutiny from a royal commission because there was a complaint made against his actions by his cook, which got dismissed and swept under the carpet and that sort of thing.
I'm presuming this is like the 1800s.
It's early 1900s.
Early
So it was
Well,
like
I tell you, it's not before 1788.
yeah, but they had a royal they had a royal commission into it, which I guess is like at least showing that there's progression in the times. But that's sort of tied into what the point here is. So they made, I think it was 12 wells that were dug along the way, but that was through what's now reserves and vegetation like allocated to native people, Aboriginal people, which gives them the right to do what they want with the land to a certain extent.
There's a lot of stations run by Indigenous, mate. Actually,
Yeah, well, I'd say that this would fall definitely into that category where, I mean, the wells originally, they took water, because I think it was 12 wells along the route, and then it took water from other sources to fill those wells, so the Aboriginals would come in and they'd destroy them. And so it led to a bit of tension between the drovers that would actually use it every fucking 20 years. But eventually...
Well, that's understandable because out there, man, water is life, eh?
Yeah, that's exactly right.
100%. Like, imagine going into SA's outback, man, and not having water.
How'd they find the water along the Canning stock route? Do
Diviner,
they have
man.
the old water diviners?
Diviner.
I'd imagine so. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
it's not like they had...
I mean, there's ways you can tell, like little things like you go to a dried creek bed, say it's like old, like, I don't know, 1,000 years old or whatever, and it's dried. You go to a corner or a bend, an elbow, you dig in that elbow on your far side, not the near side, and typically you'll find water. Yeah.
Yeah, there's...
Like, typical, like, don't.
I mean,
Don't quote me on this.
dig down deep enough anywhere where there's been water before, you'd likely to hit some sort of
Well,
moisture
if you
anyway.
dig deep enough, you'll dig through the earth and then the water.
You hit the ocean on the other side. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
That's
like,
how it
I like,
works.
I like how your
It's a
logic
flat Earth,
doesn't
mate.
take into consideration, its core, the
Magma.
molten lava. Magma.
Magma.
That's the type of condoms I use.
That's
Oh, that's
Magnum.
Magnum.
That's
We
fucking Magnum Extreme.
We ever dig in a hole as a kid and your dad would be like, what are you doing, son? Digging to China?
Yeah.
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 And then I'd be like, nah, I need to take a shit.
And you believe it. You'd be like, can you dig to China?
No. I would never believe. Fuck. Did you
off.
believe that?
6 years old. If I asked you to point to China on a map, you'd be like, up my nose.
Oh, 100%. I remember being 6 and being like, I'm going to see how fucking deep I can dig this hole.
Yeah. And realistically, you're down like a foot.
Yeah.
When I was 6, I owned a globe.
Are we talking about the shoes?
Oh, God, you're so uneducated.
No, with that, Globe wasn't around when we were 6 years
It
old.
was.
No, it was just paper maps.
Certainly wasn't in fashion.
Just paper maps. That's how you thought the Earth was
It's
flat.
Because it's on paper.
Oh, there you go. It's a bit of a different angle this week, Ryan.
Oi, that's a good angle, man. I like that,
It still
actually.
Yeah, I
involves
mean,
some
it's-
Googling and
but-
some nerdy shit, but it was good.
But the upside to that is it's now a 4-wheel drive track. It's quite a hard 4-wheel drive track.
Let's do it. Let's all buy vans and do it.
Well, I think I guess the other point to that would be the longest distance that you've gone between supply stops.
Dude, I get the sweats on when it's like last petrol for 300 Ks and you're like, fuck.
Yeah.
Better fill up.
Man, do you know, I was driving the Unadata deck. Oh, Unadata deck? Oh, the deck. I was driving the Unadata track with my old man, in the fucking moon buggy. It was a Delica.
van?
Oh, the
It was a
Delica.
van. It was a Delica.
Oh, yeah, buddy.
So it was like a 4-wheel drive van thing. It was off tap. My dad loved it. Loved the fucking shit out of it.
It was
And
a piece of shit.
it was so good. But the 4-wheel drive on it was pretty good. But I remember I was on my P's. So I was 16 and we were driving along and this was when we hit the bloody I've hit a flying wedge-tail eagle with a car.
It's not something you'd admit. I just want to point that out.
It's not ideal.
It's not.
Note to self, those birds are a lot larger up close than they are further away.
Yeah, fucking A, man.
Yeah, smashed the front, or didn't smash it, like cracked it all up the front windscreen.
We need a fact checker because I reckon they'd be up to 3 foot.
3 foot?
Yeah.
No, they're bigger than that.
They'd probably have about a 2 meter wingspan at least.
I'm
I
going
reckon
to go
3 foot
I'm
high.
gonna go.
That's a big fucking bird.
They're big birds.
I'm going to go with 3 meters
Bro,
wingspan.
I'm going to go 2 meter wingspan.
No, I'm talking about tool, how they stand.
Oh, yeah, if they're standing, 2 meters is pretty fucking big.
3 foot, I reckon
Yeah,
they'd be about.
you're about a foot taller than a wedge-tail, I reckon.
The dick's 10 foot taller, right?
Okay.
Curl it around. Use it as
Okay.
a belt.
Okay. I think we all know that you're lying now.
Yeah, I don't see
No.
your name in Guinness World Records, bro.
You got to come up with
So-
something, man, when you say that.
What?
When you like, you got to come up with something.
Oh, I'll just let you sound like an idiot.
So we were, anyway,
anyone
one of the
wants to
stories.
know.
We're
No,
driving
give
up
a
the
fact.
Indian, right, so we're driving up the Indian attack and the fucking fuel light comes on. My dad's like, nah, she'll be right. And we're like in the middle of the fucking desert with Jerry's empty. And I'm driving along. I've smashed up the windscreen on a wedge-tail eagle. I'm 16 years old. Jesus fucking Christ.
Can I just say, how are you on your P's at 16?
Back then, you could be on your P's.
No, you
at
could not.
16. Yeah.
No, you could not.
Maybe I was a
Yes.
little bit older. This is a long time ago.
You could be on your P's at 16.
Yeah, you
back
could be on
then,
your P's at
clown.
16.
Nah.
Good God.
Yeah, man.
Of course
Actually,
you
all right,
can.
all right.
That's like year 12, man.
All right, I stand corrected because back then you just had to do,
You didn't even have to
Yeah,
do any
L's in
hours. You
your
just had to
Ps.
go to a sit.
you just had to pass the test,
Yeah.
the practical test.
Yeah.
How times have changed. Now they got to do like 50 hours.
Yeah.
75.
Now you got to be a slave to the steering wheel.
75, man.
70. Nah, it's more than that. I think it's 90 now.
it's
Plus
75.
night driving.
It's
Let's
75
just fucking round it
day.
up to 100 while we're here.
Do it. We don't know what we're talking about. So, hey.
Probably be like that in a year.
It's not our problem.
They'll probably be like, no one's allowed a driver's license ever again.
We'll just have autonomous
Socialism.
vehicles and no one will have a license soon.
Fucking socialism.
Anyway, point of the story is that fuel light lasted for a good like 150 Ks, hey?
Yeah,
And
that's
the whole time. Yeah, which is normal, but I didn't know that. So the whole time I'm thinking, fuck, I'm going to have to like run with a backpack with a jerry can for 200 kilometers to save my fucking father and my brother and
then
his
you get onto
friend.
some Wolf Creek shit.
Yeah.
Someone's putting like a head on a stick.
And by then I didn't know what a Bowie knife was. So all I had was the shitty little fucking folding pocket knife that I...
No, you're not Wolf Creek, man.
No, what would happen is you'd run all the way and get fuel, run all the way back with the Jerry, and your dad would be like camping with a bunch of hitchhikers.
Yeah, probably.
And by hitchhikers, I mean backpackers.
Yeah, probably. And then
So
I'd get all the way there.
Wolf Creek man.
Or I'd run all the way there, get the fuel, come all the way back, and my dad would be like, it's supposed to be diesel.
You would do that.
Oh, bro, I'd be like,
I was like, well, I'm just getting my cardio in.
For those listening, Ryan, if there's an opportunity to run, or
Hey, I'm a natural athlete, bro.
like I remember doing St. Mary's Peak in the Flinders, and Ryan decided to run the whole thing. And when we met, like,
Did it in 3 hours.
something like that, which is normally an 8-hour walk,
man.
8 hour walk. He's run St. Mary's Peak. We've met up with him later on, and I think you said you fell down like 4 times. You just slid down the hill.
Yeah. I stacked it pretty bad, actually. Yeah, I'd like cut up knees and elbows, and it was fucking awesome.
Yeah, we're all buggered from doing 8 hours of walking, and he's just like fucked himself running it in 3 hours just because.
but
It's fun.
yeah, why not?
It's fucking
That's
awesome.
a good effort.
Okay.
I'd do that.
Yeah.
No, not anymore.
So I just want to go back to the wedge-tail eagle thing. So I got a little bit of info here.
What's the wingspan, bro?
No, what's the height?
I want to know wingspan.
So the female wedge-tail eagle weighs between 3 and 5.8 kilos, while the smaller males are smaller weigh between 2 and 4 kilos. That's fucking tiny.
Yeah, we got to be nimble, bro.
They're all just
Nimble like a
feathers and
fucking cat.
they're just feathers and bones.
So the length varies between 81 and 106 centimeters, and the wingspan typically is 182 to 232. So you weren't far off. It's just over.
No,
2
I'm
meters.
right in the middle, 2 meters.
Yeah.
3 foot and 2 meters. We're right.
Yeah, well, that's
No,
7 foot 7 inches. So that's bigger than me.
The
The
wingspan.
length. What's the height?
3 foot.
Yeah, the height is 106 centimeters,
3
Okay,
foot.
thank you.
which is about, no,
Thereabout.
it's over 3 foot.
It's more like 4 foot.
Yeah,
Nah.
a smidgen bigger than you,
So,
Josh.
like I said, you're a foot taller than.
All right, Josh, it's your turn, buddy. What's your take on today's topic?
Right. So, what I want to like basically get across is how far are you willing to go
All the way.
in
But third base minimum first
Third
date.
base?
Is that what you're saying?
First date. Would you go third base first date? What constitutes?
What are
third-
the bases? I've
What?
forgotten.
Yeah. What constitutes
like-
first base?
Is it like holding hands? Then it's
What,
surely
hang on,
got to
holding
be
hands is
kissing.
a base.
No, you're
Yeah,
starting from
surely.
too far back, bro.
No.
Jesus,
surely.
I'm like first base with my mum. Fuck.
Fuck. Surely it's holding hands.
Lol jokes.
It's
I don't
kissing.
touch my mum.
It's a how many bases
sucked
are there?
a boob.
5. So you're on fourth
Josh,
base.
Josh danced with my mum at my wedding. I think he's further along on the bases with my mum than I am.
Boy,
Jesus.
actually, all I remember when I was dancing with your mum is I was looking at my feet, but I couldn't. Like it looked like I was looking at something else.
So you're looking at my mum's tits.
I was honestly looking at my feet. Well, I was.
I remember that. It did full look like you were just mesmerised by his mum's cleavage.
Yeah, but I was looking at my feet, man.
Sure you were, Josh.
I promise. Say, I'm like, fuck. She's full trying to teach me how to dance. I'm like, oh, I'll just look at my feet.
What did you take from that? The fucking tango? Or a little bit of the wank bank? Bit of column A, bit of column B.
Anyway, what are the
We're
bases?
talking about your mum.
what
You're
are the
listing the
bases?
bases.
Nah,
I forgot.
holding hands, kissing, then it's like touching.
Fuck no, holding
And then
hands
it's
is
blowjob.
not a
Hands.
base.
Nah, then it's blowjob, and then it's fucking. So that's 5 bases, yeah.
There's 4 bases in baseball.
Dude, have you
Nah,
ever
isn't
watched
there five?
baseball?
Genius.
No, there's 5, isn't there?
There's
No.
3 bases and a home plate.
Wow. You really didn't play sports when you were a kid, did you?
Well, I didn't grow up in fucking the States, mate, so I don't know what.
Neither did I. But I
Hang
played
on,
baseball.
I'm fact checking.
There's four. So there's first base, second base, third base, home run. Right?
Okay, all right.
So I'd say like first base is kissing.
All right, there you go. Kissing then.
Second base is got to be like
Okay.
boobs grab or something like that. Oh, you've got here we go. Fact checker.
Some people only consider French kissing as getting to first base. Second base is direct physical contact, usually meaning his hands to her breast. It also includes other forms of petting, touching, or groping.
Heavy petting.
Third base may include manual or oral sex for either partner, which means home base or home run is
Hang on.
full sex.
Manual. What did you say?
May include manual or oral sex for either
Manual
partner.
sex.
Well, it's just what the fuck is
Manual sex.
Well, you fuck your
Digital.
exhaust pipe.
Oh, okay.
fingering. Do I need to break it down?
Finger bashing.
Digital.
Digital.
Oh, baby. Text. Send. What the fuck?
2020, bro. 2021, bro. You can do anything.
That's true.
Yeah.
I got a lot to say here, but
Cool.
I can't.
I've actually honestly forgotten what how far are you willing to go? What?
Yeah, so how far are you willing to go for the hunt? So I'm going to take this back to the first time Caleb and I actually went hunting in the snow. So we planned this all out, and we planned a primary. Oh God, I can't talk.
Primary.
That word plan, and then we had a tertiary plan, and we sort of went.
Secondary.
I mean, why could you say we had a plan A and a plan B?
Yeah, all right.
Keep it simple for
Well, they
yourself.
don't say that in the army.
Go fuck yourself. I'm trying to sound intellectual. All right?
You're not doing well.
What, you're trying to sound sexual?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think you look a little bit like.
How far are we willing to go? Well, we got to third base. That was just on the car ride over.
Touched Caleb. Anyway, so we've gone across to Victoria. Our original plan, we were going to go to Nunnet National Forest. And on our
Sorry,
way
did
there,
you say none it or done it?
Nunnet. And anyway, on our way there, we worked out because we drove the one road in, or the one main road in. We actually drove, and it was closed. We didn't know that they closed off the peaks in winter. And anyway, sorry, Caleb's just pouring some port.
Loves it.
There we go.
Josh is a typical male. He can't do more than one thing at once, so he can't talk and receive port to his glass
No,
without pausing.
I literally can't do like reading and talk, like having someone talk to me pisses me off.
When do
Like,
you read?
I'm trying text message. Anyway, so we've gone up to Nunnet and it's closed, and we were like, "Fuck!" And we went to our tertiary plan, and that was Nuniong National Forest. But what Caleb touched on earlier is we were driving out there and there was no fuel stations along the way. And we'd already burned a lot of fuel because it's sort of, you're going east to Nunnet, and then we had to come back west to then go north to then go east to Nuniong.
So you're saying you drove in a circle?
No, because there's no loop. It's really odd. As when you get to like Barnsdale and you go up through, like up to Omeo, there's like no roads really. The only road to the right is pretty much Nunnet.
Any of these,
And then it
are
was
these names
closed.
making you hungry as well?
No.
Okay.
No.
Why are they making you hungry?
It's just like, it sounds
Yeah.
like Oreos and stuff.
Oh my
Bro, we just
God.
ate like a ridiculous amount of dinner before we
Obscene
started.
amount of food.
Have you seen the size of me?
Constantly.
You're getting smaller.
I am getting smaller.
You are actually losing sight.
Anyway, I'm sorry.
All right, so yeah, when you get to the base of the Alpine National Forest, then you head northeast is where Nunnet State Forest is, and we'd identified that as an area of great potential. Then we found there
Well, we
was
did a
road
lot of
closure.
research,
we did do a lot of research, but without
The
having
only
been there
thing we
first.
did, the only thing we didn't research was it was fucking open.
That's true, but that was our first trip into the Alpine National Park
yeah.
in winter. First time seeing snow properly.
Yeah, that's true. This is our first time seeing snow. Anyway, we've gone up and we had to come back down, and we actually ended up, when we went back towards Omeo, we actually realised that it was like 300 Ks to the next fuel station, and we were running, and we were using Caleb's car, and we needed to fill up from a BP, and we had to find a BP. And we ended up going into a few towns. And am I saying something wrong?
No, keep going.
Okay. And we had to go like past our objective to pretty much go find a BP, fill up, and then come back.
I love how you just casually throw in military talk in like just your day-to-day conversation.
I don't know what you mean.
We passed our objective to go find a servo. Then we had to double back.
Well, I'm just going to sit here and drink my port.
With no shirt on.
That's how you fucking do it.
So anyway, I was down there at the club and it was Tango Charlie Niner, if you know what I mean. Yeah.
By the way, talking about going the distance, because what did you say? Our primary plan fell short.
Well, it failed.
It failed. So by this stage, we were in the car together for 24 hours before we actually got to where we set up camp.
Yeah, we sunk like shit.
Yeah, I can imagine.
So bad, actually.
Yeah, nothing a bit of tower
And
car.
that's why we got to third base.
But
So what? How did you end up finding a place?
yeah, we went to Nuniong. We ended up,
I don't know.
So there was
where
a few
any of these
camps.
places are.
there's a few actual camp spots that you can Google. They're like huts that you can stay at. And we went past them like quite a number of kilometres further up the mountain. And then we pretty much just found a side road and we parked up and then camped there for the day. And that afternoon, actually, we we were both wrecked. We were so tired. 24 hours in the car. We were absolute fucking screwed. And we decided to go for a walk that afternoon. And that afternoon, we walked off onto a track, probably about 3 Ks. And we suddenly saw this humongous rub. And because it was snow, and this is the best thing that I think I ever like about the snow is, one, tracks are easy to see and the freshness of them. But this rub that I saw, it had like wood shavings like scattered on the snow, like fresh wood shavings.
Fresh, yeah.
And you were like, shit, something's been there like within the last hour. And we saw tracks as well. Anyway, we actually ended up getting a sand behind that trip because the next day we walked the same track to that rub. And as we were walking along, we come around this corner and we saw this doe just standing there, just in the middle of this open area.
Much
just
like
standing
the
there.
koala of home.
And it looked just as surprised to see us as we looked to see it.
This is the thing though, because that track had been closed for quite some time by that stage, because I think we were there in August, September.
Yeah, so it would have been a few months.
It'd been a couple of months, so there'd literally been no cars or traffic, or even really foot traffic, apart from hunters that had been walking through there. So it was perfect.
Yeah,
it was.
I got to admit that spot as well held a lot of sambar. So I ended up shooting the sambar and it ran off and then died eventually. And when we were finding it, I reckon I spooked. Like, I speared off and took a separate set of tracks. And the way that this doe it sort of run off and then hopped, and it hopped like a good 2 meters. So there was no tracks for 2 meters. So we thought it had gone left because there was another set of tracks on the same path, but spearing off to the left. And I walked up the hill a bit more, and then I just remember jumping off this log because it was snow, and I fell through the snow, and I must have jumped on a black boy or something like that, like a plant, pandanus or something, and I sort of fell through, and I made a lot of noise, and then all these sambar I could just hear them. They were just galloping off. I'm like, good God. And then when I walked further up, I could see all the fresh tracks that they just made as they were running off. And anyway, we come back down, and Caleb's realised.
I was back down the hill, so I'd gone, all right, I'm going to go back, retrace the blood trail, got back to the penultimate spot again where the last bit of blood was, and still gone, well, if it hasn't gone up to where you are, where the hell's it gone? And then you've come back down and started talking again, and that's when it's just taken off again. And it literally had jumped 2 meters and just hidden in the bush.
Yeah.
Not moved, not made a sound. So I suppose it was probably about 10 minutes we were walking around, making plenty of noise. You'd walked up the hill further, seen all those other sambar, or heard them all. And this thing was pretty smart to do that because it was consistent blood trail and then just nothing. It just made this big leap.
Yeah.
And the trail went cold. And then,
So you'd say it was a ghost in the bushes.
Oh my God. Oh. Anyway, my question that I ask you guys from this story, fuck me, I'm on point tonight.
just take guys out of it. Just say the question that I ask you.
Thank you.
Or the question that I'm asking
thank you, Camp
you
Mum.
tonight.
Thank you, Camp Mum.
Is
Camp Mum is here with all the answers.
is how far are you willing to go for a deer?
well, I was with you on that trip, so
I mean, was that out of unforeseen necessity that you went that far? Or was it a premeditated?
no, we actually went there. It was a lot about just checking it out and finding areas. We'd never been there before, so it was, if we got anything, it was going to be a bonus.
Yeah, I suppose the point the question that I'd fire back would be, if you're saying how far are you willing to go, how far are you willing to go in a sense of a premeditated adventure instead of a spur of the moment, this is where we are, this is where we need to be.
Are we talking distance or
I was think distance,
money, or what do you mean by
hardship,
how far?
everything.
We
So I would draw the line at impacting like every time that you go on a hunt, right? So we're not like full-time hunters. That's not our job. That's not what we do for a living.
Not professional
Yet.
hunters, no.
Yet. So anything that would impact I don't know how to say this. Anything that would impact outside of a premeditated venture at the moment would be the line for me, if that makes sense. Unless I'm going out and getting bulk meat.
A premeditated venture.
Yeah, so a planned venture. So anything that if you're like, oh, we've got 2 weeks, right? So how far would you go? For me, it's time frame. So if you say you've got 2 weeks, I will do anything within those 2 weeks to go
Anything.
Okay. Anything within those 2 weeks.
Would you buy a van, convert it, and travel?
Oh Jesus, he's still hung up on this.
Yeah. For those
playing at home.
I'm like pretty hell bent on doing a van conversion and traveling.
Yeah, absolutely. It depends on what your idea of how far would you go. Like, can you define that any further?
You're talking distance, aren't you?
Are you talking literally how far would you go? Are you talking about how far would you go in the sense of
Look, I get where you're coming from. You're pre-planning a mission and you're like, yeah, I'm going here, here, and here. Like, how far would you be willing to, I guess, because obviously we don't have a lot of private land to hunt on, so we hunt on a lot of public land in Victoria and New South Wales. Obviously having the correct licenses to do so. How far, like, where's your cap? Is it just a time frame cap? Like, I've got 2 weeks, so I've got to make it fit within that 2 weeks. Or would you chase something back to back to back to back if you could?
I guess, again, it's time available. So distance isn't a thing. I think time's a factor. So if we're...
Not if you've got a van.
No.
I mean, ideally...
I'm pretty sure you can't fly a van overseas, man.
Ideally,
attitude.
Ideally, you can go somewhere close by so you can maximise the amount of time spent hunting. But what's close by isn't necessarily going to be the prime spot for what you chase.
You may not have access close by,
Exactly.
man. You may have access over the border.
Which is why we as South Australians, yes, we have some private properties here where we go, but
I think
we do spend a lot of time in Vic.
I think the travel time that we put in, most guys don't.
Probably not.
I think we commit a lot of time,
do.
money, resources to going out to places that are far
and a lot of time just scouting areas. Like the last trip we went on, we didn't come back with a deer. We were gone a week, but we went through about 3 or 4 state forests that we'd never been.
We saw a lot of land.
You kind of do get like really good at like being efficient in identifying a state forest or a plot that may or may not hold deer or may have a less or greater chance. Like, I consider that we are quite like reasonably efficient at working that out.
Yeah, I'd agree with you on that.
And I think, honestly, you have to do it for yourself because you go online, you go on forums or whatever, and you go, all right, what about this spot? And then you get a mixed bag of people going, oh, yeah, no, that's thick as shit. You can't hunt there. And then you get others like taking the piss. I'm like, yeah, go for it, man. Like, that's awesome.
Yeah, you don't really – because, yeah, context and the way that people say things, you can't really pick that up with –
So unless you know you've got someone who's genuine,
Yeah.
you don't necessarily know that what they're telling you about a state forest is legit. So –
and I suppose that stems into the culture of hunting in Australia where guys aren't readily going to expose their hunting spots. So if you go online and you post like, oh, I'm thinking about going here, what do you guys reckon? The chances of you getting a genuine person saying, start here, there's definitely sign of deer, go have a look. They're not going to do that because that's that whole stigma's not the right word, the culture around hunting in Australia at the moment that we definitely encounter on a day to day where there's not a sense of community and guys trying to help everyone out. There's definitely, this is my bit.
This is two things. It's like a boys' club or it's really, really, really just tight knit. And they're two things that I really don't think are
It doesn't help the sport.
a good to do to sort of like have some longevity in the sport. I think we need to get rid of that stereotype. Having said that, there's been a lot of people out there that have burnt farmers by shooting stock or doing the wrong
that's the other end of the
thing.
scale, though, isn't it? So,
Yeah.
and I think we've discussed this before on the podcast. We're trying to find that happy medium where everyone, like you've got the sensible hunters that are doing the right thing, and the farmers that can have that trust. And then how do you control that? What do you do when what we're doing is it's a secluded area that you're operating in, and you're not policed, for lack of a better word, very well. So, anyway, Caleb, what is
All right,
your
well,
take?
I'm going to switch it up a bit.
Oi.
Yeah, I'm surprised neither of you actually went here. So we're not talking about longest distance of a shot, but what I want to talk about in regards to going the distance is the scope that you use, because I think we actually have different opinions for distance shooting
Yeah.
about the amount of magnification. So, Josh, I know your preference is for like maximum magnification. I'm probably more in the mid-range. So my 308 is a 4 to 16 power. Yours is 25, goes up to, Josh?
Which one?
Oh,
Oh, jeez.
either one. What magnifications have you got?
What magnification do you have on your 22?
To be perfectly honest, I have a 5 to 24 on the ticker, and I have a 6 to 32 on my Seiko.
Which is a 22.
But no, the
Oh, the
both
308.
308s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas on my 22, I've got a 3 to 9, which is, I think, fine for what I use it for, which is mostly bunny busting.
Yeah, but you just don't shoot as tight a groups as I do with my 6 to 24.
Yeah,
on my
but you're
22.
focused on target shooting. So this is why I'm bringing to the going the distance
Not
discussion.
really, because you can wind it back to 6. So I don't see. I'd rather have it than not need it than need it and not have it.
See, I find though, if I'm shooting at like 25 power and there's a rabbit 50 meters away,
Wind it back, God.
yeah, but that's extra time.
And you got to remember to do that.
Exactly.
No,
It's just extra
just-
time fucking
just
around before you can get a
practice
shot
it.
off.
Nah, man. Do you know what? I'm running a fucking 4 or 6 to 12. Nowhere near what you boys are shooting. I have not missed a shot.
I beg to differ.
No,
I mean,
Ryan
sorry.
Ryan misses with a shotgun.
I missed the shotgun. No, the shots that I've missed is when I was like 5 meters away and I had it wound all the way in. So I'll
Yeah.
give you that.
So I like to have a power that is suitable for generally the range that we're shooting game at. So
See,
I mean, in general,
don't
with my
like that.
308, it's like 1 to 300 meters. So I think I shoot off full power at 16 power. I think that works. You can get a sight picture pretty quickly without feeling like you're moving 50 meters.
And then even 16 power is no good for like thick scrub quick shots. But this is where we have fucking technology, and you've got variable powered scopes. So just work to what you got. See, I this is also a huge personal preference.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
that, and that's what it boils down
Yeah.
to. Guys ask me all the time, and I'm like, you know what? You're not going to know until you've tried both and you work out in your own mind what you want. And that's just that. And you know what? I've seen more people struggle with a low power, long range, when they've had the opportunity to shoot something long range. They haven't had the magnification. They've shot, missed, or put, or maybe not missed, but maybe just put bad shots on the animal. That would, having a greater magnification would certainly help.
I can see where you're going with that, but for me, I like to get the bigger picture. So I've shot your rifles. Your magnification is fucking off its magnifake. Yeah, it's fucking off its tits, man. You just like if you have to look like you know how you gotta like you take your eye off the scope to point the rifle to look down the scope to try.
No,
and
you
put
see,
it on
this is
fucking-
where I wind the power down. This is where you just have a bit of pre-thought. You're like, oh, I'm in thick scrub.
yeah,
I'll
but-
wind it down to 6. Oh, I'm in open ground. I'll go to 10.
Oh yeah, so
you know.
I do that if I'm walking from open ground and then I go through scrub. As I'm walking into the thick scrub, I wind it all the way back.
Yeah,
so
there you
if
go.
I need to take a shot,
So what's
I'm
the
not,
problem?
I just ride a
Have a
fucking
have a
run a
large
shotgun. Don't
magnification.
need to worry about any of that shit.
Yeah, and then you're useless after 50 meters.
Not if you're carrying solid slugs, bro.
Oh, okay, we'll put that to the test.
No, see, I don't like so with mine, right? So I got 243. So I max out at 12. I keep it 12 all the time. But I know the rifle well enough so that I can use the mil dots if it pushes out past out past 200, 300, 400 line.
you know what
so
I
this is where I don't agree, right? With high magnification, you can aim at a specific point, like a very, 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 very specific point. With a low magnification, you cannot aim, or your specific point that you're aiming at is actually larger because you don't have the magnification.
Yeah, aim small, miss
obviously.
small mentality.
Yeah, it's
Oh, they don't use that
Hollywood,
in the
man.
military. We can't use those words here.
it's Hollywood, man. But yeah,
It's not Hollywood.
It is true. Like if you can pick a fine point to aim at over a large sort of beaten zone to point.
So you aim small, you miss small.
Okay. Yeah, you're going to have a lot less fudge factor.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Anyway, point of the story is that I don't like that. I'd prefer to be able to see the whole, a lot larger picture. Just scope up, bam, mil dot.
This would be a good one for the listeners, actually.
It's definitely a personal preference.
Definitely. And you definitely need to know your rifle, whether it is you've got a scope that is on point and you can see where you want your shot placement, or you've got something like a lesser magnification that I prefer. You still need to know how your rifle works. You still need to understand where your release point is for your trigger. You got to understand all that sort of stuff.
Well, the basic principles of marksman, or the basic marksmanship principles are there. Fuck. Yeah, definitely.
Bit hard to speak English today, Josh.
No, it's been hard all day to speak English. But the basic, the basic principles are definitely a massive.
Basic
factor.
principles are a definite massive factor.
Yeah.
Cool.
Well,
Negligent
you just threw
discharge.
me way off what I was talking about, what I was thinking about.
Did
Way,
we? Is your
way
mind
off.
elsewhere?
No, it's not.
What's that? ND. ND.
Andy,
Indeed.
Yeah. Oh.
Josh, you've got the ND for this week, my friend. We should just do the ND as his English skills.
Yeah. Fucking shit.
Yeah. They've been pretty bad today, actually.
It'd be excusable.
I was singing on the way
second
here
language.
in my car, actually, in my ute, and I couldn't get words out. I was like, blah, blah, blah. But anyway,
You talking to yourself in your ute?
What?
no, I was singing
Oh,
to the fucking radio, to the
Oh.
wireless, bruh. Anyway.
What were you singing? Britney Spears?
No, a bit of Tay-Tay, mate.
I should have gone with Britney.
America's sweetheart.
Britney's trending at the moment.
Yeah.
Hashtag free Britney.
Britney.
Anyway, all right, so this week, actually, we were just talking about this before we started recording tonight.
Yeah, funny
what the
that.
ND
It's called
was.
preparation for the
Yeah,
podcast.
bit of prep. So, this brings me way, 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 way back to when I was in Darwin. Oh God. Anyway, I'd gone to a rodeo with a few mates. God, I can't remember where it was.
In Darwin.
No, it was outside of Darwin, but somewhere. Anyway, this rodeo, like most rodeos, when you rock up, they've got like the family event where they ride bulls and carry on and that.
You mean the actual rodeo?
that no one goes for. But then afterwards, it turns into a bit of a discos, right? And like with this, because you obviously drive out for, I think it was Noonamar or something. I can't remember in Darwin. But you drive out, and obviously you wouldn't drive home, so you'd camp in the car park, and most guys would set up their swags or tents or whatever. And being Darwin, there's a lot of backpackers and a lot of like cowboys and that. Anyway, we got written off one night with some boys, absolutely written off. And one of my mates was picking me up and throwing me onto other people's tents whilst they were in the tent sleeping. This is like after the family event and well after the disco.
So innocent families are just camping in their tents and they're
Little
just-
Johnny had a little Josh thrown on him.
Yeah, essentially. So my mate just kept doing this, and like I got jack of it, and a few other mates were like also sort of picking up people's jerry cans and throwing it in their swags, and it was messy. It was
So
a messy
you were
night.
just being a bunch of assholes, really.
Yeah, essentially, but everyone's doing it, so it's okay.
Oh, so it's okay.
It's okay. Everyone's
doing it.
It's
It's
okay.
fine.
Two wrongs don't make a right, Josh.
Pretty much. And look, this is young Josh, so that's all right. I was behaving.
What's changed?
I went to bed.
Nothing's changed.
I went to bed early. No. Anyway, like the night went on, and actually I was sitting there, like I ended up sitting on my tailgate of my ute. I had an old blue Nissan Navara, the D22.
Represent.
And I was sitting on my tailgate and I was talking to a bunch of dudes. I had no idea who they were till wee hours of the morning and just talking smack, having a good time as you always do. Anyway, I ended up passing out on my tailgate. Woke up the next morning and some dude had jizzed in a Jimmy and stuck it on the windshield of my ute.
You probably disrupted him, man. Like he's probably like while making love to his partner.
100%. That's
Hang
what
on.
I.
Yeah, that's.
He's like,
And then all of
"Fuck
a
you,
sudden
this-
there's like a
This is for this is for like crashing me tent.
yeah.
How do you really know what happened? You said you passed out on your tailgate.
Oh, by this stage, man, there was like everyone.
Sounds
was
like
passed out.
someone probably had their way with you, jizzed into a condom
That's
and
not
threw
what
it
I
on your car. They're like, you can save that one for later.
But you
bro.
don't know this for sure.
Yeah.
Oh God, when I say passed out, I mean I went to bed willingly.
I feel like there's a
You
fair
willingly went
difference
to bed.
between passing out and going to bed. Did you brush your teeth?
Did you get in your jammies?
All right, so this is something that we've got to do. We've all got to go to the Maribel Rodeo,
Fuck
and we've got to take Caleb, and we've got to get rid of his.
I've been there
rodeo
before. I've been
virginity.
before.
It's awesome.
Really?
I've actually been to the
Really?
rodeo before.
Did you just stay for the family event?
I did.
100%.
I was lit
Yeah, so
as
you
fuck.
left. After.
But I've been to a rodeo.
Yeah, no, you need to stay beyond that.
So the Maribel Rodeo is like one of the. Well, I'd say it's the best rodeo in South Australia, but a little bit.
it's
a little
the
bit.
only rodeo.
It's the only one I know of.
There's a couple that kick around, but for those who are listening that are from South Australia, definitely kick down there and have a look. You can stay overnight in the paddock, and there's usually a band afterwards if you want to experience some real cowboys. Get on it.
Essentially, there's a bunch of drunk people camping in a paddock.
Yeah, but they're wearing boots and
You're
cracking
missing
whips.
the point, man. Like rodeos, you got like dudes like spudding in and getting injured, and you're like, shit, yeah, and you know,
It's
Missing the point.
Quite
like,
dangerous.
Your whole ND is you found a used condom tucked under your windscreen
Yeah.
wiper.
no, it was slapped on the windscreen.
So was it all contained within the condom? Would like a little bit come out and like spray it over your
No,
windscreen?
it was all just in.
So
in there.
who's the ND against? Is it against the guy or is it against you?
I think it's against you for just being
I think
a
it's
dick.
I think it's against me actually. Yeah, like look, I was not the one that was picking myself up and throwing myself at people's tents. Thank you. So
Sure.
I wasn't the dick.
Show me your
I was a
friends.
victim.
I'll show you your
I'm gonna
future.
play. I'm gonna play the victim.
I feel like you weren't shutting it down. I feel like you were participating.
You were definitely encouraging that shit. I mean, you're probably the smallest one there. They were like, let's just throw the smallest ball-like person.
Before
No,
Miley Cyrus even wrote the song, you were coming in like a wrecking ball.
You were.
Bloody oath,
I mean,
mate.
kudos to the bloke. He finished. So
Yeah, either or the rule. It was a bit of a like, I guess that's a bit of an ND, like throwing your used Jimmy on someone's windshield.
yeah, but you definitely deserved it.
Oh, mate, you don't understand
I feel
this
like there's-
rodeo, eh?
No, you just deserved that.
You just don't understand.
You're
I've
just
gotta-
lucky.
I've gotta
You're just
take-
lucky the used condom wasn't on your face, man.
I got to take. Oh well, not on mine, but I'm dead set sure that happened to someone there.
You're not selling radios to me, to be honest.
Oh, dude, mate, you haven't lived until you've done like past the family event, past the proper. Oh, you haven't lived, mate.
Okay.
Talking about.
You haven't lived.
I mean, heaps of rodeos.
Not you, Caleb. Caleb's sitting there on his high chair, acting all high and mighty.
I'm practically
Yes.
a cowboy.
I'm still on the Moral High Road right now.
Nah, I'm gonna. Nah. See, for those that like listen at home, those that play at home,
As in
whatever
everyone
Ryan-
listening to this
whatever
currently.
Ryan says.
For those playing at home.
Caleb likes when he drinks. He likes to do it smart. He'll get on a level and then he'll just back his drinking off to coast, and then he'll even dip into the water. Look, that's smart.
No,
I
no,
get
no,
that.
no,
I get
no,
that. That's smart.
No,
But,
I'm high
you don't
functioning.
experience.
I'm high functioning, so I can drink a shit ton of alcohol and still have my wits about me and still make smart decisions, you turn into a 5-year-old.
I call bullshit.
Nah.
I call
I don't
bullshit.
think Josh can
I've
make
done
smart
some
decisions
loose
when he's
shit in my
sober.
life. I've done, and we should be promoting safe consumption of alcohol.
Drink responsibly, kids.
Meanwhile, we're getting lit on a Monday night. But yeah, no, I find that I'm just more high functioning.
That's funny.
I'm gonna
Anyway,
take you to a radio one day.
I'm going to wrap it up there. So we've sucked. Oh, that came out.
Wow.
That definitely was a
English
slip
is
of the
not
lips.
our strong
We've
suit
sucked
this
for a
week.
solid hour.
We've hit some topics here. I think. I'm tired of staring at Josh's nipples. I'm sitting directly from him, and
Yeah, this is not going to be a thing.
no
Shirtless,
absolutely not.
wearing jeans,
I think
no
we need to put in
shoes.
place a policy where
A dress code.
A dress code. It has to be a dress code. It has sleeves are essential.
No shirt,
He'll
no
rock,
shoes,
he'll
no
rock up with
service.
just sleeves on and actual no.
Yeah, I'll take no pants off them, bro.
We can't do this next week because, Ryan,
Because next week we have the special guest who we are not going to say who it is because you're going to have to tune in to find out what that little bad boy is all
He'll be all right
about.
with me shirtless.
would he?
Josh, we're not talking
Yeah.
about you shirtless anymore.
Yeah, he'd be all
We're
right
done.
without me.
No.
No more.
So, thank you very much for listening, ladies and gentlemen. We very much appreciate you. Hit us up at Send It Mate Podcast on Insta. Send us some DMs. Tell us what you think. Tell us what you would like to hear. There will be a poll going out this week. So, add us on Instagram. Let us know what you think about the poll. We're not going to tell you what it's about until
Pole
you add us.
position.
Pole position. But it is definitely going to impact the show. So, have a ad, have a listen, tell your friends, and we'll see you next week.
You should do adverts for a living, bro.
All right.
You should put a shirt
You
on.
should put a shirt on. Absolutely. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. We will see you and listen.
Catch ya.
Well, you'll listen to us next week.
Gotcha.
Bye.
G'day, dude and dudettes. Josh here. Do you find it hard to keep your long, hard barrels free from gun STDs? Maybe you need a clean out of your bore. If this is you, jump on over to highcaliber.com.au and use the promo code SENDITMATE to receive a 10% discount on all your gun cleaning needs. And remember, it's sexy to support Australian-made products. Everyone here at Send It Mate uses High Caliber, and we can promise you that it'll keep your firearms free from those pesky gun STDs.